Okay, so, uh, you know how sometimes you just stumble across something completely nuts online?
Oh, yeah, totally. I spent way too much time down those internet rabbit holes.
Right. Well, this is one of those things. Imagine you're in this crazy war zone, explosions are going off all around you, people are screaming for help, and there's just like a flood of these alien things coming at you from every direction.
Yeah, sounds pretty intense.
Intense is putting it mildly. And that is the world of Helldivers 2. It's a game that just throws you right into the thick of it. And that's exactly where our deep dive starts today.
Cool.
You sent over this YouTube video. It's got this crazy title. It's like Hobbers, all Vobbers, all Wars, and have suicide run completed or something like that. It's from the Omega Pixel
Oh,
channel.
yeah, that one's great.
Yeah, and what grabbed me about it wasn't just the action, it was the story that kind of unfolded in the middle of all this chaos. It's about this team of players working together, facing these impossible odds, and just the way they react to everything that gets thrown at them.
It's totally unscripted, too. Like, they're not following a set storyline or anything. It all just happens organically.
Exactly. And the heart of this deep dive is this one player, Zach. He's got this, what do they call it?
A personal order.
Right, a personal order, yeah. So it's like this special mission the game gives you. There's a time limit and a reward if you complete it. And Zach's mission is to take down two of these bile titans.
Oh, those are nasty.
Yeah, they're like the big bad guys in this part of the game. And the whole video follows Zach and his squad as they're trying to do this on the hardest difficulty setting. They call it a suicide mission.
Makes sense.
And what's cool is that even if you've never played a video game, you can still connect with what's going on here. We're talking about teamwork under pressure,
Cool.
dealing with unexpected problems, finding humor in crazy situations. It's all very human, even though it's happening in this digital world.
Yeah, it's a great example of how games can reflect real-life experiences in a way.
Totally. Okay, so let's jump into their first attempt at this mission. You can just hear the optimism in their voices at the beginning. They're talking about their loadouts, their stratagems.
Yeah.
These are like special abilities they can call in for support. Like one guy is talking about using an orbital rail cannon strike.
Oh, that one's awesome. It's like a giant laser beam from space.
Yeah, exactly. And someone else mentions orbital thrusters.
Hmm.
I guess those help you move around quickly. And then there's this funny moment where someone calls the enemy a ball titan instead of a bile titan.
Classic slip up under pressure.
Right. But you also hear them thinking strategically about their roles. One player's got an ammo backpack so they don't run out of bullets. Someone else has a guard dog, which is this little drone that shoots at enemies.
Like a little robotic buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going in with at least some kind of plan.
Sounds organized.
Well, that plan goes out the window pretty quickly. Almost
Yeah.
immediately, a charger shows up, and they weren't expecting it at all.
Oh, yeah, those things are fast.
Then they try to call in reinforcements, but the beacon they throw down lands in completely the wrong spot. It's like trying to order a pizza and it gets delivered to the wrong house.
Happens all the time.
Right. So now they're scrambling to adjust. One player says, hey, let's use that rock for cover, which is actually a pretty smart move,
Yeah.
using the environment to their advantage.
Tactical thinking on the fly.
And then in the middle of all this, someone just casually asks for a nice cup of liberty. It's like their way of dealing with this stress, finding humor in this crazy situation.
I get that.
Then finally, they manage to call in a bile titan. This is what they've been waiting for.
Showtime.
But as soon as it appears, everything just explodes. There are enemies everywhere. They're calling for backup like crazy. It's pure chaos.
The game loves to escalate things like that.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, there seems to be some kind of technical issue going on. They're talking about a glitch, and for a while, no new enemies are spawning. And you'd think that would be a good thing, right?
You'd think.
But of course, it's Helldivers 2. So suddenly, a whole new wave of enemies appears like the game was just messing with them.
Yeah, the game does not like to give you a break.
Nope. And things just keep getting worse. Someone tries to throw down a supply beacon so they can restock, but it goes way off target. Then you can hear someone yelling, I need an arc thrower. You can just feel the panic rising.
It's all going downhill.
Pretty much.
Wow.
And despite surviving this first attempt, which is already impressive, they don't get the Bile Titan kill. There's this moment of, well, crap, but they're already talking about trying again.
They're not giving up.
Not a chance. So they jump into their second attempt. Now there's even more pressure because Zach's personal order is ticking down. He's only got 3 hours left to complete it.
Yikes.
And this time they decide to crank up the difficulty to 7. Apparently this is called Suicide Mission. I guess that tells you everything you need to know.
Going all in.
Yeah. And someone immediately yells, UN Alive mode, which I'm guessing is not a good thing.
Probably not.
But here's the thing, even though they made it harder, the Bile Titans don't show up right away. You can hear them getting frustrated, like, what the heck is going on?
It's the randomness of the game again.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny in a way because they made it harder specifically to find the Bile Titans.
Yeah, the game doesn't always cooperate.
Nope. But there are some cool moments of teamwork in this attempt. They're calling in those orbital strikes, taking down chargers, and then, oh man, there's this moment where Zach gets accidentally killed by one of his own teammates.
Oh no, friendly fire.
Yep, classic Helldivers 2 moment.
Always got to watch your fire.
Right. But they finally get their chance. A Bile Titan appears, and they take it down pretty quickly.
Boom. Mission accomplished.
Almost. They still have to extract.
Yeah.
And they do manage to get out, but there's this funny comment about Zach barely surviving. Then they're all talking about the rewards they got, leveling up their characters, earning in-game currency.
The spoils of war.
Right. And then the conversation takes this hilarious turn. They start teasing Zach about being carried through the mission.
I love that kind of banter.
Me too. And then they get into this whole thing about working from home with kids, which is so relatable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then out of nowhere, they're talking about this streamer named Kevin Wu and Best Buy employee discounts. It's just so random.
It's like hanging out with friends. Just letting the conversation flow wherever it goes.
Exactly. So they do another attempt, still looking for those Bile Titans. But then the video shifts gears and starts showing us snippets from other missions they've played. And you really get a sense of the variety of Helldivers too.
Yeah, it's not just about fighting giant monsters. There are missions where you have to defend a certain location. Rescue survivors blow up these bug tunnels.
And they're using all sorts of different stratagems and equipment, automated sentry guns, heavy weapons, airstrikes, those backpacks that give you special abilities. It's like they're constantly adapting their approach based on the mission.
Makes you think strategically.
And throughout all these different missions, the emphasis is always on teamwork and communication. You hear them calling out enemy positions, coordinating their attacks.
It's essential in a game like this, especially on higher difficulties. You can't just run around like a lone wolf. You have to work together.
Yeah, there's this one line where someone says something like, hopefully fewer condolence letters this time, which is kind of dark humor, but it shows how high the stakes can be.
Definitely not a game for the faint of heart.
So after spending time with these players, what do we learn about why Helldivers 2 is so appealing? What makes it so much fun?
Well, I think a big part of it is that core loop. You drop into this crazy situation, you're totally outnumbered, and you either pull off this amazing victory or you get completely wiped out.
And either way, it seemed like a good time.
Right. And I think the emergent storytelling is a huge factor, too. All those unplanned moments, the friendly fire incidents, the crazy conversations, they all add up to these unique player-driven stories.
So it's not just about the game itself, it's about the stories that emerge from playing it.
Exactly. No two playthroughs are the same.
And then there's the sense of community. The fact that these guys were willing to keep replaying this hard mission just to help Zach out really says something.
Yeah, it shows that even in an online game, you can have these genuine moments of camaraderie and support.
For sure. Okay, so to wrap up this deep dive into Helldivers 2, it's clear that it's more than just shooting aliens and robots, or as they like to call them, Girl Scouts and bots.
That's a good one.
It's about teamwork, adapting to chaos, finding humor in the middle of it all. And it's about those human connections that can form even when you're fighting side by side in a virtual world.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
And when you think about it, those same elements, teamwork, adaptation, dealing with unexpected stuff, those are things we all face in our own lives.
Absolutely.
Whether it's at work with friends, family, wherever. So here's something to ponder. What are your suicide missions in life? Those challenges that seem almost impossible to overcome. And what are those moments of humor or support that help you get through them? Maybe those intense digital battles aren't so different from the challenges we face in the real world after all.
Interesting thought.
Well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
Catch you later.